Okay, so this is a tutorial on taking your 3D models and actually cutting them out on the Waterjet. So, a few things that you're going to want to have is you're going to want to use this file converter, convertio.co, on the internet. Online file converter does a lot of stuff. It's really great. Once you have that open, you also want to go ahead and get your ProtoMAX layout and ProtoMAX Make, because we'll go ahead and just look at it in a second. Another thing is I like to have my downloads and my this is my flash drive that I'm using, so I like to have my flash drive open in case I have to move it from, because you're going to be moving it from your computer to the machine most of the time. So it's better to just go ahead and get that ready. And now once you've done that, we will go ahead and begin the process. So to begin with, we want to go ahead and go to our 3D modeling software, aka Autodesk, and if you're looking at it from this view, you want to go ahead and do a top-down or wherever way that you want to be exporting your view, because however you're going to export it, it's going to export what it's looking at right here. So, zoomed in, zoomed out, you have to just be like about right here. So now we will go ahead and do File. We'll go to Export. We want to go ahead and do Image. Make sure that it's a JPEG file. We will find where we are going to be saving it, aka on my flash drive. I'll go to my drawings, I'll go to my example, and I'll do save. Now I've saved it. It will have, again, taken this screen and put it into a JPEG. So after I've done that, I will go ahead and go to my convert.io. I will go ahead and choose my file by going through, and there you go. Now I will convert it to a CAD DXF. We will take 2 seconds and wait, and boom, there you go. Oh, sorry. Still taking a few more seconds to download. It's a little bit on and off, Wi-Fi speeds. Now, we will go ahead and do download, and we've got it. So we will go to our downloads, and we will open the flash drive. So this is the DXF. We'll move the DXF over to where we keep our JPEG. Once you've done that, we can go ahead and double click it, or you can open it through ProtoMAX layout, but it's better to go ahead and just open it through here. Double click it, and there you go, it's popped up. Don't have to worry about anything in here, just go ahead and hit OK. Now it'll launch it up through there. Good to have it open again, because it's just, you don't have to wait for it to launch otherwise. Now we will go ahead and make sure we deselect all. We will go to edit again, and we will select what is connected. So we'll click this line to go ahead and delete this box, and we will go ahead and select all. After we've selected all, we'll do Control C. We will delete this. We'll hit your home key to go down here to your actual bed view. Do Control V, and now your part should be in the exact middle. Now what we want to do is we want to scale it down so that it's not so big. In my case, I want it to be 10 inches, and it'll automatically fix everything and move it down to bed. So remember that the Waterjet cutter is actually rather small. It's not bad, but it is only a 12 by 12 bed, each square indicating 1 inch. So you want to make sure that your parts are actually fitting within this area. If they're not, then it just will not be made, because it'll reach its limit. And then another thing that you might want to worry about is you want to worry about weird lines like this. So an example, I'll go ahead and fix that. Also, you want to worry about where you set your home, or your point, I guess you could say. So there's our 0, and our 0 is in that corner, just like it typically is on the machine. The machine always sets a home of right in the corner. So we'll go ahead and just use that corner actually. So because our stock will butt up to it. Anyway, for an example, my part is actually going to be connected from this line all the way from the outside back up over here to the top, and then through here. So basically this whole area that I'm tracing with my mouse will fall out. This whole area will fall out too. This slot should fall out. These eyes will fall out. The nose and the mouth will fall out, leaving only the thin, very thin plates. So I want to make sure that this is connected instead of not connected, because otherwise this piece will be floppy and only being supported from this very thin metal at the top. So what we will do is we will get into edit, we will we'll deselect all. Now we will hit select under edit, and we will click our lines, which are separated just a little bit weird. It just happens because of the file converting and stuff like that, and then the program's a little bit interesting. Now we can go ahead and hit delete after we've selected those. We want to go to align, and we want to hit endpoint to endpoint. So what it's going to do is it's going to automatically select it for you. You just have to be, close to it. Again, we'll hit line, we'll hit end, and then we will hit our point and connect it. Now that's connected, so it won't be floppy, and it actually has a point of connection. And then for an example sake, I will go ahead and do select, and we can select all this. You can just kind of hold your mouse down and trace it, and there you go. You go ahead and hit delete. Now we will go ahead and do the same thing. We'll do a line, we'll do an end, we'll do from here to here, and that will have made it straighter at least. In this case, we will go ahead, make sure we don't have anything selected, and good. So now what we can do is we can do our auto path. It'll auto generate all of our cutting for us. You want to make sure to just go ahead and double check all the areas like this. It becomes white because it's just these teeny tiny turns that the machine will be taking, but the machine can do it. If it can't, it just makes it, not as accurate of a line. It could make this wiggle and actually straight line instead of having to do all those turns, because it'll figure it out. But anyway, once it's automatically generated, you want to make sure that your lines are not purple, aka they are not cutting lines. These are transversing or moving lines, which will be moving from location to location, aka not shooting water, so that it won't cut your part up, unless, again, once it reaches the areas that it needs to. So we can go ahead and do post-processing after this. Yes, we've already generated our toolpath. We've already generated the toolpath. Sometimes, okay, here's another thing with this ProtoMAX. Sometimes you have to do a Control-Z, a re-toolpath, automatic toolpath, and then try to post-process it. You must save your draw. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you also want to save it. So we'll go ahead and hit save. I'll save it under example. Bear 2. There we go. Now I will post it. I will select my starting line. It would be better to go ahead and select the closest point from your home, because your tool should be starting from here and moving over to the rest of the machine. So we'll select that as the starting line. And right here, this just gives you an idea of, like, if the machine were to be off, how far off would it actually be from the line. I typically bring it down to 5 thousandths, just so it's tighter and it's easier to see. Again, everything in the red will be cut, everything in the green will be a transversed or moving point. So now, once we've done that, we can go ahead and, if you want to, you can check the way that your machine's going to be moving. So it generates these arrows. So my machine will be, again, moving, cutting over here, coming back to this point, moving, cutting, etc., etc. And then I believe, this one just shows you your endpoints and your dots that are connecting. Again, just little things that are interesting to look at. That's all just moving stuff. Yeah, don't worry about that. Now we can go ahead and hit right click, hit save as OMX, and then we will save OMX Bear 2. There we go. Now we will go over to Make, which will actually be on the machine, and now you can do File, Open, wait for it, and then we will go over to where our location is. Open it up. Here we go. And OMX file. So go ahead and hit OK. Sorry about that. A few things you want to worry about before. This is actually going to be 16th inch stock that I'm going to be using. So we will look at our thickness, and we will do 16th. I always forget. I think it's 0.625. We can always double check by calculating that real quickly. And yeah, even right here, drag your calculator. 16th. Copy it. There you go. And then you can just go ahead and pop it over in here. And I am doing 6061 aluminum, but there are tons of options for your material. Most commonly, you will be using under the metal section, obviously. So you always want to double check what your metal actually is. Common, you know, like steel types would be stainless. And then we also use some tool steel, but hardly. Again, I'm going to be using aluminum 6061. This will change speeds and feeds of the machine and all sorts of stuff. And then tool offset is going to be how high the actual water jet is above the piece. So we can say enter the amount to the offset from the jet, yeah, to the part. You can change this if you want. I'm gonna make it like an eighth instead of 10 thousandths more of an eighth, which is a little bit goofy whenever it's like that. And there you go. So we can go ahead and hit OK, and it will load up after it takes a second. And there you go. So again, your home is gonna be in the corner, just like we did in the post process of it all. Yeah, here we go. Again, that's our home, and then it will make everything from beyond that point. Going back to make, I drug it down. There you go. That will be ProtoMAX make, part making.